Welcome back to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference, empowering the good, and we love sharing exciting news, especially when it's related to a sport I love, and that's tennis. So that's why we're honored to have with us Scott Mitchell, CEO of Tennis Memphis, and Melinda Hoehn, their Director of Business Operations. How are you two doing?
Hey, Jeremy, we're doing great. How are you?
Hey, Jeremy, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So I am one of those tennis fanatics growing up playing tennis. I've been playing my whole life. And so this is a fun conversation when you talk about Tennis Memphis and really exciting news with Leftwich. And we'll talk all about that in this brand new tennis center that is opening for the public and what it's going to mean for the Mid-South in terms of bringing tennis tournaments and such to our hometown. So let's go ahead and dive in. Melinda, start with a little bit of background, some history for Tennis Memphis.
Sure. Tennis Memphis is a nonprofit that has been managing the city's public tennis facilities since 2001. And in that time, our focus has been to bring tennis and education specifically to under-resourced areas of our city. So we do that through a number of our junior programming opportunities and a program we love called Tennis and Tutoring that offers kids an hour after school homework help, a snack, and an hour of tennis that's also geared toward life skills.
Well, this falls in your realm as well for operations. How many different tennis centers are there tied to Tennis Memphis?
So the great part is we're all over the city. As you've mentioned, Leftwich is in East Memphis, along with Woolbrook. We also manage Raleigh, Fraser, and then Eldenwork, which is located in Whitehaven. We have a center in Bellevue, that's in South Memphis.
So Scott, go ahead and dive in on your end, CEO. And when you talk about Tennis Memphis, and all these exciting new opportunities, give us your perspective.
You know, there's so much that Tennis Memphis, as Melinda has mentioned, has done for many, many years. And I think, we're obviously going to continue to do that, focus on our mission, and for sure. But I think Leftwich is going to give us some unique opportunities to bring some bigger tournaments to a lot more eyeballs, really kind of branch outside the city and get some recognition through the state and the region. And then nationally as well. So we're excited to get it open, hopefully in a couple of weeks. Hopefully it won't be raining when we open, but yeah, it's gonna allow us to do a lot more, and then obviously impact the community with all that we do here at Leftwich. But then getting some more programming, some more events, and some fun activities at the other centers that we manage as well.
We'll dive into the programs a little bit deeper, but since you mentioned Leftwich, we're talking that's the hot topic. And for those who can see you on screen, it's right behind you, the indoor courts. But go ahead and dive into the details for Leftwich in terms of how many outside courts, indoor courts, kind of paint the picture of what it looks like, what it's patterned after. Go ahead and dive in.
Yeah, I think Melinda probably can share some as well. But I mean, I've been in the industry for over 30 years, and I've seen a lot of tennis facilities, and this one stands out. It's one of the nicest ones you're going to see. If it's not one of the top tennis facilities you're going to see in the country, it's at least in the top 10. But we have 36 courts, 12 of them indoors, really high ceilings. I mean, there's really not an event that we can't host here. We've got a lot of space. So when you come, it's not only just the tennis courts. The University of Memphis will be playing out of here. The men and women will be playing their matches out of here. High schools will have the ability to come here. But then we have meeting space. So if you want to bring a party, or if you're want to do a corporate outing or employee outing, we've got that space. If you want to just rent some space from us, or you want to get out on the tennis court as well, there's all sorts of stuff that we can do. It's truly a world-class facility that you haven't seen anywhere in the Southeast for sure.
And that is one of the things that I love is you've got the amazing tennis courts, and they're obviously brand new, so that's exciting. But then the ability for the spectators and the coaches and parents to be able to walk along in the middle for the outside courts to watch your kids playing, and then on the inside, especially for league matches and things like that. I mean, it's just a really powerful visual opportunity to be able to enjoy, as well as obviously being on the court. So talk about kind of what that means, because as you mentioned, corporate outings, obviously tournaments, there's so much use that can be done for the courts inside and outside year round. Go ahead and dive into some of the things that it's going to mean for big tournaments and such coming to the area.
Jeremy, as you mentioned, the league play, which I know is near and dear to both your heart and mine, Memphis actually has the largest number of USTA players in the state of Tennessee. So we are super proud of that fact and excited to finally be able to sleep in our own beds at night for a few of these tournaments, right? So we love visiting other parts of the states, but we can't wait for them to come and see what we have to offer in Memphis as well. So it's going to be exciting to get those USTA tournaments. We are also super excited about growing the game with brand new players. So we're going to be offering some clinics and just some different things aimed at getting people who've never put a racket in their hands and really just want to come out and learn about the game.
And to your point, I mean, it's impressive. I know the men's 4-5 team just won nationals. So when you look at both the number of players, the caliber of players, the fact that, you know, Memphians are winning nationals. I mean, there's a lot to be said in terms of where tennis is overall for Memphis in the Mid-South. So share a little of that perspective when you look at where tennis is, and obviously this will lead us into then the programs for the youth, but where do you all kind of put Memphis on the map in terms of where tennis is as a sport right now for our community?
I think we all know that this is a big basketball, football town, and we all love those sports too. But as I said, we have a huge tennis community here that we're also looking just to see it expand even further, both in our juniors and in our adults. We have, you can't even imagine how many players that play in our senior league, and even players that are over in their 80s that still are enjoying and loving the game. So I think it's one of the things we love the most about the Memphis population of tennis player is it runs the gamut.
Absolutely. Tennis is a lifelong sport. So Scott, go ahead and dive into the junior programs. Let's kind of start there in terms of, you know, after school programs, obviously summer programs and camps. I mean, you all do a lot year round for youth and development. So go ahead and dive in.
Yeah, we, like you said, we do a lot within the junior development. We're going to really kind of spend some time looking at our junior development program as a whole and really try to plug in some elements as we go. We really want to make it a child-centered junior development program, which really means instead of doing normal activities, you're really kind of focusing on what you know the kids should be developing at certain ages through their pathway of overall development. So we're going to look at that for all of our centers here at Leftwich. We'll probably kick it off right away, and then we'll start to do some more of that. But we have tennis for all ages, all levels. We really want the kids to come out. Like you said, it's a sport for everybody, for a lifelong. And hopefully they're playing with their kids when they get older. But we want to make sure that the stuff that they learn when they're here is stuff that'll keep them in the game. So we know that a lot of the different sports teach the kids how to play the sport, and then they work on the technical side outside of that. Tennis, for whatever reason, for 150 years in this country, is always taught technical first and tactical second. So we'll adjust that because we know that for beginner adults or kids, for sure, they want to learn how to play the game and then learn how to do it better as they go. So we're going to revamp some of that going forward.
Share a little bit about the development side, because I think it is neat when you talk about the youth, the development, obviously the lifelong skills you learn that carry over even off the court for character, discipline, Absolutely. All of that confidence that goes in. But then for scholarships, for college opportunities, there is a really cool pipeline there that, you know, these players, as they grow up and mature with their games, they really do have endless opportunities coming out of Memphis. Speak a little bit to that, because obviously you know that perspective firsthand.
Yeah, and I don't think people realize how many scholarships are really out there. You know, everybody thinks about, you know, if I'm going to get a scholarship, it's a Division I school and everything else. But, you know, you've got Division I, 2, 3, you've got NAIA, there's so many different schools that academically are very, very good. And I think everybody thinks, well, if I'm going to be a tennis player, I've got to be a D1 player. And you can get a great education, get a scholarship at the lower levels. You don't have to be one of the top players in the nation just to go to school. And so that's something that we want to make sure that we continue doing here, that the kids that come on and do tennis and they take it a little bit more serious than some of the others, that there are opportunities out there. And then once they've done that, there's schools out there that provide what's called a professional tennis management program. There's about 7 or 8 schools around the country that do that. So if they really enjoy tennis and want to continue that and maybe do that as a career, maybe go into one of those schools that, again, they offer scholarships and they have a program that's built into either their sports marketing program or their business programs there at the universities. And then there's so many different pathways, and that, which is so cool for us. Everybody thinks tennis, what we do is all about just teaching tennis, but there's people that love our sport that end up working for racket manufacturers, work for, the USTA itself. It's not just about teaching tennis. So there's a lot of different pathways, but this is where you start right here with one of our junior programs.
Melinda, you mentioned the tutoring and the community aspect. Go ahead and give a little bit more elaboration on that side.
Sure. We have a lot of communities that have not traditionally seen tennis as a sport that's accessible for them. And that is a huge part of what we've tried to change in the thinking. We bring kids out on scholarship in our summer camp program that lasts about 6 weeks in the summertime. We do not turn any kids away for inability to pay. Some of them come at 80% or more reduced. Some of them come for free because we just want them to be able to participate. And we are very grateful for local generous donors that help make that possible. But we also then offer during the school year, as I mentioned, tennis and tutoring, which is an opportunity for them to get help with both life skills, tennis, and homework. And then we provide that snack for them as well. We have a junior development program, which there is a fee associated. But again, we have scholarships available for anyone who's interested because we just want everyone to be able to come out and participate. We also go to the community centers on the weekends and offer tennis programming there. That's an opportunity for people who maybe are afraid to approach a facility, but are great to just come out to their local community center and learn how to play. We provide rackets for them to use during that time and the coaches as well.
Let's go ahead and talk about the adults now, because to me, when you talk about just the longevity of playing into your 80s and 90s and beyond, but, some of my most powerful friendships, lifelong friendships have been tennis players, people I've met playing tennis. And even coming into a new city, even when we moved to Memphis, like first thing you do is you start getting involved in the tennis community because it's a bunch of really good people. So I think for adults, when you look at friendships, networking, fun and fellowship, and obviously just working out and, kind of the well-being side of it, mentally and physically, there's so much as an adult in terms of the advantages of tennis. Touch on the different activities for adults to plug in, obviously leagues, cardio tennis, lessons, clinics, things like that.
Our adult programming is just so exciting. And especially with Leftwich coming on, we hope to have more USTA teams than ever playing out of our facilities. We obviously will be expanding our, as you say, clinics, lessons, mixers, which is just a fun time for people to come out, get to know people, win prizes, and play for fun. So we have this year at our Raleigh location really beefed up our programming there and started a lot of just brand new beginner classes and clinics that have led into some great 2-5 teams, which is the start of USTA play. And it's just been fun to watch those groups come together. We also offer for local businesses, for instance, St. Jude is running a local league out of our centers 3 nights a week. So that's just for their employees, which we offer that for businesses as well. So it's a great opportunity if you kind of already have your people or if you want to meet some new people.
Yeah, the St. Jude, that's a really cool idea in terms of businesses doing it as an internal opportunity for their employees and team members. That's awesome. That's great. Scott, what would you add to that?
No, I just think whenever you, you're looking to try to join something, the faster you connect with the people, and everybody's coming into different social activities or the tennis centers for different reasons, right? Some want to just meet people, some want to play tennis because they enjoy that, some want a great workout. And so from our end, it's trying to make sure that we offer enough for people to really kind of latch onto and then try to get them connected when they come, right? So if you're coming to a tennis, to one of our facilities, but you're, really into cardio, then we want to try to connect you with other people that are like-minded like you, because as soon as we connect you, the longer you're going to stay. So there's a better chance that you're going to be more active within the tennis center or within the program. So it's not only providing the programs in the centers, but also trying to make sure that you get connected and you're there for quite a bit.
Melinda, touch on how the community can help and support Tennis Memphis. Obviously, the league play, memberships, the corporate side, plugging in. There's a lot of ways that we can help Tennis Memphis. So go ahead and talk about some of the different ways we can help.
Sure. We always love our volunteers and are grateful for people who are willing to come out. I'm sure we're going to touch on our grand opening date, which is the 11th of November. We still could use volunteers for that day, both people who have some tennis skills experience and then people who are just willing to direct traffic and help in general ways. But even during the year, we have volunteers that come and help in our junior development program, help when we have various functions. So we're always grateful for volunteers. Of course, donations help go toward those scholarship dollars to support our kids, both during the year and in our summer camps. But there are so many ways to get involved, and we are just grateful for this community that has supported us so well.
So we've talked about obviously the grand opening of Leftwich Tennis Center, November 11th. Go ahead and dive into some of those details and invite the public to come out and enjoy in the celebration.
You guys, this is going to be a fantastic day. You are not going to want to miss it. It's going to, the opening ceremonies with the mayor and the ribbon cutting will begin promptly at 10 a.m. They will have a few people speak, director of parks, council people. That should last about 30 minutes. And then we're going to have very much a carnival type atmosphere, food trucks and bouncies and face painting. The USTA Tennessee is going to run similar to Arthur Ashe Kids Day on several of the courts where they'll run kids through various events on those courts. Then we will also have adult programming, all free clinics, just different chances to play. The U of M players will be out there. So Jeremy, I want to see you come take on a U of M player and show us what you got. I know you used to play for Baylor, so it's time to pull that out of the closet. Go ahead and bring it on out. It should be a great day of just tennis. And even if you just are interested, but you don't want to play, just come. There's going to be fun. Like we said, we're going to have a DJ and food and just fun things for people to do. That'll last until about 1 o'clock. And then we're just going to offer an hour of free play from 1 to 2 and give people a chance to see the facility.
Awesome. I'm super excited. So wrap up with where we can go to carry these conversations forward to learn more. So website, social media, where do we go to plug in with Tennis Memphis?
Go to our website if you want, tennismemphis.org. We've got all sorts of information on all of our programs, donations. Like Melinda had said, the donations really allow us to do what we do and connecting people in the community to this great sport of tennis. So help out, get involved if you can. If you want to jump out on the tennis court with us as well, would love for that. But you can go to our website, you can go to our Facebook, everything's under Tennis Memphis. We'd love for you to be a part of the grand opening, like Melinda said. I mean, we know the tennis players like you, Jeremy, are going to be there, but we want to make sure those that are really, the families or maybe never tried it before, they will come, enjoy it. You'll have a blast, I promise.
Absolutely. Website again, tennismemphis.org. Makes it easy. So tennismemphis.org. Scott, Melinda, thank you for all you and your amazing team do. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Thanks for having us.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the City Current Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.